This week in Destiny for April 4th, 2024. A recap of Into the Light and everything it includes. PvP strike team updates, weapon balancing for Into the Light, reducing the cost of strand fragments, updating the default chat experience, Iron Banner returns, Onslaught Legend challenge details, and much more. So this week in Destiny begins with Into the Light and a recap of the last 3 streams. I'm going to recap all of that information later on in this video, but let's get to the new information from the TWID first. First up, the section about the PvP strike team updates. The focus here is on key changes and improvements coming with update 7.3.6, alongside wrapping up the PvP map pack for release in May. Here's a breakdown of the changes for the competitive playlist game mode adjustments. Survival and Countdown Rush are being removed and replaced by 3v3 Clash and Collision. For Collision, zone placements on maps like Deadcliff and Vostok have been modified based on feedback. Clash will switch from the ammo meter system to the ammo crate system, aiming to promote map movement and reduce passive gameplay. This change is expected to slightly increase special ammo availability while maintaining a reduction from previous respawn values. Trials adjustments involving special ammo. The update addresses feedback on the special ammo economy in Trials by testing 2 variants of the ammo crate system during the first 2 weeks of the update. The first will feature an unrestricted system with all 4 ammo crates spawning every round. The second week will use a restricted version with only 2 crates spawning. These tests aim to find a balance for special ammo availability, with plans to revert the current ammo meter system in the 3rd week, pending further adjustments based on gathered data and feedback. There's also changes to weapon swap mechanics. An improved version of the not swap modifier will be implemented in competitive and during the Trials ammo crate experiments. This update penalizes players for changing the ammo type of the weapon in their kinetic or energy slot mid-life by removing ability energy, aiming to balance the risk versus reward of weapon choices during engagements. There's also some updates to the terms of service for matchmaking manipulation penalties. Now, if you intentionally manipulate matchmaking for an unfair advantage, such as using Smurf accounts or third-party tools, it's a bannable offense. This is to ensure fair play, though legitimate fire teams of mixed skill are not affected. All initial warnings or bans will undergo manual review. Next up, the weapons team has announced some changes for Into the Light, a series of balance changes affecting a variety of weapon archetypes, exotics, and perks, aiming to refine both PvP and PvE experiences. First, let's start with the weapon archetype adjustments. Breach-loaded grenade launchers, impact damage increased by 40%, but disorienting grenade reduced by 15%. Lightweight bows, base damage increased by 6%, excluding the Monarch and Wishender. Precision 450 RPM auto rifles, base damage reduced by 5%. Precision and adaptive hand cannons, base damage increased, precision by 6, adaptive body shot by 1%, and critical hit damage by 4%. Enhancing their forgiveness and performance. Pulse and scout rifles, various adjustments to increase damage and forgiveness. Shotguns, precision, a rounding issue fix ensuring max resilience guardians can be killed with 1 less pellet. For exotic weapons, Whisper of the Worm, total ammunition increase from 18 to 24, and 1000 voices from 7 to 11. For Quicksilver Storm, grenade area of effect damage versus combatants reduced by 37%, and shots to trigger rockets increased by 50%. And then for Last Word and Forerunner, base damage increased by 6%. Some perk adjustments. Recluse's Master of Arms damage bonus reduced from 20 to 15%. Magnificent Howl for Luna's Howl, redesigned to allow potential 2-tap kills in PvP with increased effort. Micro Missile for Mountaintop, converted into an intrinsic perk, no longer a one-hit kill in PvP but improved in PvE and can act as a jumping tool. There was also some small miscellaneous changes like reducing base damage of Wishender by 5% to address overperformance. Sunshot precision damage increased by 11%. Starting with Into the Light next week, Bungie's reducing the cost of strand fragments from 200 strand meditations to 100. They hope this change allows players to catch up on any missing fragments for their strand builds as you prepare for the final shape. In Stream 3, Bungie mentioned how you can skip the New Light tutorial. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but this includes a New Light kit, which will give you 2 legendary weapons, 1 exotic weapon, 4 rare armor pieces, and a legendary class item, along with subclass abilities such as aspects and fragments. So once you progress a little bit in the Cosmodrome, you can head to this Arcadia class jump ship and head straight to the city. Starting next week, Bungie will be updating the text chat to auto-join chat channels by default. When logging in, you'll immediately see other players chatting in-game and can jump right into the conversation. Players will also default to auto-join voice chat when in a fireteam or fireteam lobby. Voice chat for local and team channels will still be off by default. Iron Banner returns with your first opportunity to earn the Tusk of the Boar grenade launcher and the reprised submachine gun. So that's all the new information from This Week in Destiny. Let's do a recap of Into the Light and everything it includes. So Into the Light, let's do a recap of everything releasing next Tuesday. In the first stream, Bungie announced Onslaught, the new horde mode activity. This is a 3-player activity available to all players. It's a wave defense activity inspired from other games and past Bungie projects, probably like Firefight from Halo. Story-wise, the Witness's forces have been closing in on Sol. While the Witness is inside the Traveler, it has time. As we know, at the end of Season of the Wish, Crow went in to establish a bridge for the rest of the Guardians to enter. For now, we are back at home sharpening our knives and waiting. The Witness wants to keep us on the other side of the portal, so this is all about breaking out, discovering new power, and getting those new toys before we enter and defeat it. As for the mode itself, you build defenses and get as far as you can. There's 50 waves in total, and each wave gets more difficult. There's a wide wave diversity. For example, one wave had ogres and cursed thralls, so you never know what you're going to get. The basis is to defend the ADU, the Advanced Defense Unit. Defeat enemies to get scrap, spend scrap to deploy defenses, like turrets, decoys, and trip mines. Throughout the waves, the ADU will move around the map, and the mode features various difficulties. Week 2, the new social space is called the Hall of Champions. Interact with chests to get rewards, kind of like the 30th anniversary event in the past. Speak to Shax to level him up and get more reputation, and also Arsight to his right to complete weapon quests. There are several secrets hidden around this area, like Grimoire cards which appear to be returning, and the Thunderlord chest is also back to get those new players up to level. 12 new Brave Arsenal weapons are being introduced, a collection of iconic weapons from Destiny 2's history, including originals and favorites. Blast Furnace, Hung Jury, Succession, Midnight Coup, Mountaintop, Recluse, Luna's Howl, Elsie's Rifle, Forbearance, Edge Transit, Falling Guillotine, and Hammerhead. In the Hall of Champions, you can attune certain weapons to get a better chance for them to drop. And once you unlock everything, Shax's reputation, you can get yourself the Super Black Shader, which returns from Destiny 1. Week 3 stream, the Whisper and 0 Hour missions return with new chest placements, combatants, and encounter changes. New updated ships from the original activities to go after, so if you have the old ones, they're still pretty rare. This activity will have updated models. The Whisper of the Worm and the Outbreak are going to be craftable, new perks introduced, and quest week after week to get new intrinsic perks. If you don't already have the Catalyst, you can get them to drop by chance from the legend versions of these missions. 3 brand new PvP maps are being added in the PvP map pack this May, I believe. These are free and take place on Europa and Eventide Labs, where Aramis refuels her ship, a Neomuna skyscraper in Cirrus Plaza, and a pyramid ship in Earth's orbit that's being transformed by the Traveler. Those other small announcements from that stream, Pantheon, which we discussed a little earlier. Pantheon, the new raid boss Gauntlet starting April 30th, allowing you to take down raid bosses with escalating challenges, get exotics, adept weapons, and emblems. There will be a new title for Into the Light called Brave. New Guardians can join the front lines right away and now skip the New Light campaign, so you can get the Thunder Chest, get up to level, and play with your friends. April 9th next week you can change your character look and also get a new Bungie name change. And the Final Shape gameplay stream will also take place that same day. Reddit user Beneficial Yak made this epic calendar image like the roadmaps we used to have, so here's all the dates. So there you have it, Guardians, this week in Destiny for April 4th. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.